This video is for anyone who is wondering if it's too late to start again. It is not. Recently, I turned 41. When I had the idea for the script, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to talk about it, if it's worth a video, if anyone wants to watch it. But you watch it. I made it. When I was 39, I changed my entire career. After 14 years in the same field, I walked away from what was safe, what was familiar, and started over. Today, I want to talk about why that decision scared me, changed me, and ultimately saved me. Welcome back or welcome in, friend. If you are here the first time, I read my scripts from a tablet because I just can't remember what I want to say to save my life. And if I don't write a script before, I will never get to my point. After having explained that, what is the myth of being too late? We live in a culture obsessed with timelines. By 30, you're supposed to have it figured out. By 35, you're supposed to be settled. By 40, you should be well on your way to wherever you're meant to be. And if you're not, if you find yourself questioning, changing directions, or starting from scratch, you might feel like you have failed. But that's just a story. It doesn't account for growth or grief or the truth that sometimes the path you choose at 25 doesn't fit who you've become by 39. At 39, I knew something had shifted. The work I once loved and was engaged with felt heavy. I kept showing up, but inside I felt hollow. That's when I knew I was outgrowing a version of myself. And no one really talks enough about the grief of starting over. When you leave behind a long chapter of your life, you're not just quitting a job or changing routines. You're letting go of an identity, a rhythm, a version of you that once made sense. I already made a video about that. So I don't want to go in depth about that here. But my point here is, with all those changes comes very real grief, and I questioned back then if I was making a huge mistake, if I was ruining my chances of ever being stable again, if I had wasted the last decade and a half. But what I didn't realize at the time was that I wasn't walking away from everything. I was walking towards something new. And you are allowed to change. You are allowed to evolve. You're allowed to want something different, even if what you had was good. Even if everyone else thinks you should have stayed. We all go through cycles. What nourished you 10 years ago might not nourish you now. That's not failure, that's personal growth. When I left my old job, I didn't leap into the unknown entirely. I was lucky. I transitioned within the same company. But before, I went from call center agent to supervisor, and through side projects and self-study and qualification I pursued outside of work, in the end, I became now an IT business analyst. The first year was so full of growing pains, moments of doubt, imposter syndrome, and feeling like I wasn't learning fast enough. And don't get me wrong, sometimes I still have days where I feel like this. But I was incredibly privileged to be surrounded by kind, supportive people. My department valued my perspective and the skills I brought with me, and now at 41, I actually feel fulfilled in my career, not because it's easy, but because every day offers room for growth, and that's something I haven't felt in a long time. And life looks different at every age. The question we ask, the things we long for, the way we define fulfillment, it all shifts, and that can be disorienting. It also means that you're allowed to outgrow past versions of yourself, even the ones that once felt like home. I don't regret starting over. I regret the years I stayed small because I was afraid. I believed that reinvention had an expiration date, but I also honor that version of me, the one who stayed as long as they needed to, who learned, who endured, who one day whispered, "It's time." So, wherever you are right now on your journey, whether it's 29 or 59, I hope you know from the bottom of your heart it's never too late to start over. Your timeline is yours. Your own evolution is valid, worthy, and beautiful. If you are currently feeling that itch to begin again, here are some steps that helped me. First of all, get honest with yourself. Take whatever tool you need to reach that. AI as a journal, video journaling. I made an entire video about different tools for that. But the most important point here is be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, what am I outgrowing? What doesn't feel aligned anymore? Also, don't expect the answer to show up right away. Just notice what feels heavy in your life or what do you feel disconnected to. And then make space to grieve. Starting over means letting go, and letting go comes with sadness. Grieve the old version of you, grieve the routine you knew, grieve the identity you wore for so long. I actually had to grieve my perfectionist side to some degree because in the old job I was so established. I was the person everyone looked up to and came to for questions, and I had the answers. And then I hadn't in the new job. And I was the one asking questions all of the time, nonstop. That was a huge shift, and that is real. And that leads me to the next point: start small. Don't think about the whole staircase, just take one step. That might mean researching a new field, signing up for a short course, or just updating your CV. Small steps build confidence. And side tangent, especially for the CV, apply. Just apply for jobs. Even if you don't really want that job, apply anyways. If you meet only 50% of the criteria, apply. Let them reject you. Use the jobs you're not 100% interested in for your own development, for practice. A positive job interview builds confidence, and the more interviews you do and the more positions you apply for, the more it becomes normal to you, and then you don't get as nervous anymore as when it's the first one, right? That's where you need to trust slow beginnings. You don't have to get it right overnight. You're not behind. Starting over isn't a race, it's a recalibration. Growth that lasts is rarely rushed. And also important, find support. Talk to someone who believes in your evolution, whether it's a friend, a mentor, a therapist, an online community. Support makes uncertainty feel less lonely. And here now I'm shamelessly plugging my Discord server. It's a tiny server, but we are very close-knitted and we always want to support each other. A link in the description below. Starting over isn't just brave, it's a form of self-respect. It's saying, I deserve a life that fits the person I am becoming. You don't have to be ready or feel ready. You just have to be willing. Thank you for being here with me. If this resonated, Let me know in the comments, share your own story, or even just where you are at right now. And if you're ready, or just think about it, give yourself permission. You don't have to stay where you have stopped growing. It would be wonderful if you subscribe to my channel so the video gets out to more people. Until next time, take care of yourself.